Hello, welcome to Mark's Rusty Rex. We are getting upon a model car show season here. I've actually went to one yesterday, didn't do very well, but I have one coming up here on May 1st. That's in Kirkwood, Missouri, for the MMVA. They usually have two contests a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And the spring, the theme class is going to be Shelby's and Cobras. So thought I'd try to squeeze one in here and do a build for the spring show, since I already had this kit. And so you know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to rust it out. I don't normally do videos for full builds or opening stuff like a box review, but thought I'd try something a little bit different. It's not going to be like a full review, but give you the basics. Everyone probably knows this kit. This has been around since probably the early 80s. I know I built one when I was a kid. So there's all the chrome goodies. The challenge on this kit always for me was that hood decal. So I'm not sure how that's going to go. If I'm gonna have the hood just a totally different color and try to put that decal on. I guess I can try to put that decal on. If I fail, I can just paint it a different color. Like I said, everyone who's been building for many years has probably built this kit at one point, or one version of it or another. It's pretty decent 1/24 scale kit, which I always liked the monogram kits back in the day. They seemed like they had pretty nice detail, but yet not a high parts count, so they're pretty easy to build. So everything's there and complete. I'm going to start doing some of the basic assemblies, and I'll be back after that. I'll show you the instructions real quick. And like I said, that decal right there, that was always a challenge, trying to get that around that hood scoop. When I was a kid, I wasn't quite as particular and didn't care, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, time to put some rust on this thing. This is the product I use for most of the stuff I rust out. So a lot of people ask me on how I do this, and this is what I use on the bottom of the car, and also on doing the paint chipping, which you'll see later in the video. And that's my cat, Beans. Get on up here. She's gonna watch us apparently. So this stuff comes with a primer, an activator, and that gray paint. This is the activator. This is the primer. Just throw that right away because it's useless. And you're not going to use this because I usually brush on that the activator rather than spray it on, because you'll be wasting it otherwise. And I usually use a black or a red primer, depending on how I want the look. I'm going to do the exhaust in black. I'm going to, I think I'm going to do some salt chipping on this after I'm done, but I want to get the exhaust to have a slightly different look than the rest of the body, or the rest of the chassis, I should say. So I'm going to use black, and then after it's all rusted up, I'm going to spray it with some like aluminum paint to give it a kind of a rusty aluminized looking exhaust. I usually just make it straight rusted out, but I'm going to try something a little different. This car, I'm going to try to make it look like a kind of a 70s kind of hot rod that you know, all these cars nowadays that you see at car shows are the ones that have survived have been restored to very nice condition. So trying to depict one that would have how it would have looked in probably the mid 70s to early 80s, because back then these were just used cars and they weren't show queens. I'm not going to get real heavy on the rust on this car like I do on a lot of my junkyard cars. This is just supposed to be depicting a kind of a rough 70s era car that's has seen better days, but still very usable. Okay, next step of the process is to use the rust activator. It's my new bottle. This is one of the older ones I have. I pour this stuff out in a bottle cap for a couple reasons. One, if you brush the activator over the paint, you'll end up getting a bunch of debris inside your bottle. So it's to keep contaminants out of this, and also if you would be pretty upset if you dump the whole bottle over. So there's a couple reasons why I do that. So what I do it actually comes with a spray nozzle, but if you use that, you're going to end up just wasting a bunch of the rust activator. So I don't recommend doing that. I just use an old brush and dab it on there. And so the best results I've seen by doing this is I try to keep the rust paint wet or damp, moist, whatever term you want to use, for about 30 minutes. So I'm not going to do a whole video of me doing this for 30 minutes, but I try to keep it damp for about 30 minutes, and then I'll let it sit and do its thing. So keep that in mind, because if you don't, I don't like how it looks if you don't. It seems like it doesn't get the full effect. So I pretty much just do one coat over these areas, and then just kind of sit with it, reapply it, to keep it damp. And also, as you see, I'm wearing a rubber glove. This stuff can be a little bit nasty, and it does stink too. It literally smells like rust. Like if you guys work on old cars, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, here's our finished product on using the Rust Effects paint. Sorry, bottles there. So might need to do some touch-ups and get a little more rust on there. Apparently I didn't get it on there very well, but as you can see, it's rusty. And I haven't assembled anything yet. I'll just put stuff in place there. I like to pre-assemble suspension parts prior to doing this process, rather than try to glue it together and try to touch it up later. So there it is. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of salt, what they call it, salt chipping method on the exhaust. I've already, as you saw, I rusted it out, and basically I wet the exhaust down here, and then I put sprinkled just salt on top of it. You can use different courses of salt depending on what you're doing. Since it's exhaust, I just use regular table salt. Like if you do body later, I'm probably gonna use some bigger grain salts, like kosher salt. You can use some different types. So basically just kind of chipped off some of the areas I didn't want. So I'm going to spray it with silver paint, and we're going to see how it turns out. And this is my supervisor, Miss Beans. She likes to watch when I build models. I'm surprised she's not in my lap. I gave her a little chair to sit in. Okay, this is the exhaust after I've spray painted it, and I have not brushed off the salt. So my next step is to you can either just brush it off or let it soak and then brush it off, whichever you prefer. Okay, here's the finished product on the exhaust. You can see it's got, I'm trying to mimic an aluminized style exhaust that is just a little bit rusty, not totally rusted out. So like I said, it's supposed to be kind of a beater, daily driver, hot rod. So that's the look I'm going to go for on this one. Alright, so I have the interior finished now, and I also have the chassis and most of the engine done. I'm just zooming in on the gauges here, which turned out pretty nice. I just filled that in with some black wash, and the lettering kind of highlights the lettering. I touched up the needles with some red paint. I also did the first time I ever tried flocking on for carpeting. I'm not sure if I could have done a better job on that, but and then I just weathered it with some Tamiya weathering. Looks like a little makeup thing. Kind of shined up the seats a little bit and just dirtied it up, basically. There's the engine. Still have to do the distributor in it. And then the chassis. Okay, here's the body after I did the salt chipping, and I've also added the decals that I'm going to use, not all of them, and I have used a chrome pin on the window trim. Moving right along with the build, I got the wheels on it. I got most of the details done under the hood. Still need to put a little bit of like a dirt wash on it. I'm going to do. You notice what's going on with the windshield there. I've got I masked that off, and before I'm done, I'm going to do a flat clear over it just to make the windows look a little dirty, and so those are going to be where the windshield wipers would have cleared the windshield. I put a little bit of dirt streaking in it. Oh, and another thing I'm going to do that I'm going to show you, a little trick of mine, is I'm going to use some cinnamon to make some surface rust. Alright, here's the finale of the Revell 1966 Mustang GT350H, which was originally a monogram kit. I've got all the I've got it all done here now. Some of the pictures I'll show you. You can see the window streaking in there. There's some pictures. I decided to make this car look like kind of a car that maybe had an engine fire, which is why the fenders are like the paint was burned off of it and rusted up. And then of course the hood would have been destroyed, so it kind of replicated like maybe somebody had had an engine fire, got shoved in a barn for many years, and then pulled back out with a new engine put in it. You might not be able to see some of the other tricks I did down here in the bottom. I just kind of made for like surface rust. I put a Mod Podge underneath there, and then I sprinkled ground cinnamon on top of it. Makes a nice rust effect. I did some on the holes there in the quarter panels. And I made the holes in the quarter panels using just a Dremel tool from the back side, and then kind of broke it out. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and share my videos. And I'll see you on the next one.